Yes, we skip to the next morning, and I was gonna schedule last part for Monday of this week, or actually right now, because you're listening to this when I was supposed to schedule the last one, but I accidentally set that one out early, so you now have an episode early. So I'm gonna try to record tomorrow. No guarantees. I'm gonna try to record, and if I do, Wednesday. But if I don't, well, you understand. So we go to Naruto Uzumaki, who's currently in the clearing. Clearing's being surrounded by Anbu, hiding the best they can. These are the elite of the elite. Team Dragon, which houses the Anbu commander and all the commanders of the other squads. They're the captains of the other squads. So they are the elite of the elite. Now here's the issue. Naruto is a censor. You see the issue here? He knows exactly where all of them are. Mizuki is not a censor, so Iruka is a censor, so yeah. So Naruto opens up the scroll, and it's a fake scroll, and well, it only has one technique. Well, technically it has a few techniques, but they all end on one technique, the Sexy no Jutsu, or Sexy Jutsu, that Naruto made. First technique, Sexy Jutsu, made by Naruto Uzumaki. Second technique, Harem Jutsu, theorized by Kiba Inuzuka. Me. Fourth technique, theorized by Hana Inuzuka. Reverse harem technique. And fourth technique in the scroll, required jutsu for the harem and reverse harem, Shadow Clone Jutsu, by Sumi Inuzuka. Yes, and that's a very important scroll. It's an S-rank secret, that scroll, because once the Hokage sees what's in the scroll, he's going to label it an S-rank secret, and only the Anbu commander and the Hokage can know about it. And if anybody touches it, or even opens it, immediate execution. Because it's just way too powerful for anybody that isn't listed in the scroll. So he starts practicing them. Why it's the elite of the elite is because they have absolutely no reaction to what he's doing. They're keeping an eye everywhere else except for on Naruto. He's got the Shadow Clone down. He's got the Sexy Jutsu down. The Harem Jutsu, easy enough. Notes on the reverse harem. And there's a long list of things for the reverse harem. So, a while, he gets that down, and he just sits there and waits. Iruka shows up, acts. He knows that there's Anbu around because he can sense them, but he acts like he doesn't know. Then Mizuki shows up, and their conversation goes, Mizuki spills the secret about the Kyuubi. I'll tell you when Naruto learned about the Kyuubi later. Spills the secret about the Kyuubi. Naruto has no reaction. All the Anbu swarm Mizuki and immediately chop off his head. And back at the Hokage's office, Hiruzen is twitching on the ground. Hana was twitching on the ground. I'm laughing my ass off on the ground. Liz is taking a nap. And My hidden blades? Nowhere to be seen. Yeah. They can get up off my arms and just walk away. There's a specific reason for that, and I'll tell you later. Zoom was like, damn. So, I'm still laughing on the ground because I saw the Hokage smashed into the window and is hanging halfway out of the Hokage's office. Robes still intact, no glass going through the robes, hats falling off his head, just hanging there barely from it being pinched on the windowsill and window. So, or windowsill and him. So, Hiruzen finally gets up, wipes his nose, stuffs tissue in his nose, and goes full serious mode. Even though he acted like that, he was still in slight shinobi mode, so he's still aware of the outside world. He heard the entire thing. And now he's curious why I'm laughing on my ass off on the ground and nobody else is reacting. And he looks at me and asks, you know about Naruto's secret? I'm like, I'm the one who told him. Both Hana and Zoom death glare me. And I go, what? He's got a right to know. And they just glare at me more. I'm like, okay, first off, I was a child. You can't blame me for being a child. Second, I just honestly don't care. The law is utter bullcrap and it shouldn't have been made. Because first off, you're not supposed to tell the civilians. It is a ninja secret, not a village secret. So only the clans should know. So if this individual, who is a clan heir, by the way, and he just stares at me wide-eyed, and I just keep going on, who is a clan heir, is in trouble, the clans can help him from the shadows. Now, I understand that pulls out a book, Article B, section this one, and this one. I'm not going to actually go through legal numbers. I don't care enough to think about how many laws that Conan probably has were put in place between you, the fourth Hokage dying, and you regaining the title 2 days later. I understand that. Thing about council laws that were put in place via, executive order from the council, they can be repealed by the Hokage at any time, as long as he has authority, which you have authority, and sound mind. Bitch, you have sound mind. Even though, yes, you do yell that you freaking too damn old to do this job, you still have sound mind. So, pulls out 2, 3, and all 4 of them, all 4 of the lawbinders that are at the other side of the room, flips open to one page and says, Law 12 of the Konoha Charter. The civilian council is an advisory position that cannot be overstepped, and they cannot have a say in any of the shinobi matters. If this law is overstepped, all civilians who conceived and wanted these positions, or were forced into these positions, will be heavily reprimanded, fined, and, depending on their position, will be executed. And everybody's just staring at me. The Sandame is like, stupid, stupid, stupid. I'm like, oh, I haven't even gotten to the hilarious part. Opens the next book. Civilian Council, right here. Civilian Council has only the ability to suggest tax rates for privately owned businesses without the Hokage's laws or without the Hokage's permission to protect shinobi income. Opens the third book. Civilian Council has full control over taxes and full control over civilian income taxes. Open the fifth book. Civilian Council has all control over civilians. I just deadpan at the Hokage and say, read at the bottom of the law. Does it have the Hokage signature, which it does not, any of the Hokages, and the Hokage stamp? It does not. Does it have the Fire Daimyo's signature? None of them do. These are invalid laws that have been sucking this entire village dry from the Civilian Council, and that they need to be punished severely. And they'll look at me like, okay, first off, who are you and what have you done with my son? Zoom asks. Second off, Hana looks at me and goes, wait, where are your hidden blades? And third, Liz finally wakes up. I look at my arms, see my hidden blades, and go, are gone again. I'm like, damn it. Where'd they walk off to? Currently down the street, there's a white-haired, orange-eyed, I remember correctly, orange-eyed? Yeah, orange-eyed, scantily clad female with perfectly proportioned body parts. So, yeah. And she's walking around looking at stuff, enjoying the time. But you see underneath the gloves that she's wearing are the hidden blades. And all of a sudden, she poofs out of existence. And a few ninjas see this and are wondering what the hell's going on, but felt no chakra happening, so they think it was an illusion. So they just yell Kai and see if anything happened. Nothing happened, so they go on their way. With that in the back of their minds, keeping their eye on stuff to make sure it's not suspicious. All of a sudden, in the Hokage's office, they see a poof of smoke on my arms, and they see the hidden blades. I'm like, there they are. Hana's like, what happened to them? And I go, oh yeah, they just get up and walk out sometimes. I'm like, what? I go, so, they have a mind of their own? Why don't you come out? I take a hidden blade off, toss it in the air, and all of a sudden they hear a thump, like a body hit the ground. And this little kid, looks like a child, I look at her and go, true form, come on, come on. And she just starts pouting. I'm like, nope, that ain't gonna work on me. Come on, true form. So she shape shifts into her regular form, the one that I told you earlier. And I go, there you go. This is the spirit inside my blades. Sim's like, inside your blades? I thought you only had one. Oh yeah. Shoot out the second one. Shoot it back in. Oh yeah, I got two. Yeah, she doesn't like any of you. Well, except for her. Points at Liz. Liz starts bouncing around and jumps on her, and they start play fighting. She shapeshifts into that of a wolf the same size as Liz. And they start play fighting, having a good time. I'm like, don't need to go play fetch with her. All of a sudden, a boomerang slams me in the side of the head. I'm like, I forgot I had that in a seal, and she can activate my seals. And all of a sudden, I get tackled by Liz because she was trying to get the boomerang. So they're all looking at me like A, I've gone crazy, and B, I should be put in the insanity hospital that's currently He's 300 feet below Konoha, underneath Danzo's root base, because Danzo's like, you know what can't be found? My root base. No, Sarutobi just dug under it, and like, he hasn't done anything bad to Konoha. I'll just leave him. So, Danzo, completely being ignored right now, even though everything is being given to Hiruzen in his black book of forbidden knowledge. So while this is going on, Naruto comes in and sees Liz and her. And he sees both of them and he goes, oh, hey! And everybody looks at Naruto and I go, he's the only one who knew about her. And everybody looks at me and goes, who's her? And I go, if I say her name, she changes. And if she changes, she gets more aggressive. And when she gets more aggressive, I don't want to finish that sentence because it will sound completely wrong. And Hana and Sum look at me like, say it. Come on, say it. Naruto's like, say it. You're going to get your ass beat. And I'm like, at least I'm not the one who likes it. Naruto's face goes beet red and goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, bull crap. I know, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And he goes, yo, Akagi Gigi is grandfather title. I'm just probably going to call him old man. And he throws a scroll at him and he's like, I suggest you put that as an S rank secret. And Commander Dragon shows up and like, put that as an S rank secret. And Hiruzen's like, yeah, I'm going to put it as an S rank secret. And they go, and Sum's like, why? It's a great technique. And he goes, your daughter fell down to it. The only reason why you didn't fall is because you've had fun time and she hasn't. She goes, you have had fun time too. He goes, I'm also a pervert. They hear little giggles coming from the back of the room. And they just look back and I'm just smiling like an idiot. And Sum and Ha kind of look at me suspiciously. I'm like, I haven't done anything wrong. Naruto just smacks his face going, you know, I really hate how you're really good with seals. I look at him with his death glare. It's like, shut up. Sum and Ha are like, what? What do you mean? He goes, he's found a way to make a storage seal instant and without smoke. I look at him and say, shut up or no ramen. I know how to keep you away from Ichiraku for a month. He goes, don't you dare do that. I go, I'll do that. You keep talking, I do that. And you won't like it when I do that. Because actually I'll enjoy it quite a bit, but I really don't want to do that in front of her. I go, exactly. So, your move. He goes, fine, I won't say anything. Both Hana and Sum are now looking at me like, what are you hiding? What are you hiding? I look deadpan at them and go, I ain't telling you. Look directly at Kuramaru and say, if you tell them, I'm showing your puppy pictures. And Sum's like, wait, he has puppy pictures? And Kuramaru's like, no, I don't. I go, he does have puppy pictures. Because I had a Yamanaka go into the mind of an elderly Inuzuka who saw Kuramaru as a puppy. I had him give me the images. And I put them down as sketches. Then I had an artist interpretation. So they're a lot more cute than they actually were. Remember that time when Kuromeru was trying to bite your hair off? Sum's face immediately goes red with anger, and death glares Kuromeru. I go, yeah. I got a cutesy version of that. Sum immediately turns towards me and pissed off, being like, you send that out, I kill you. I'm like, I ain't scared of death. I'll also give you a history test. Like, you know I'd ace that, right? And she goes, probably. But you don't like tests. I go, and you're right, I don't like tests. There's only one person that scares me. And I'm like, who? I'm like, I ain't telling you. If I tell you, then you know exactly who to get. And then if you get them, I kind of can't lord this over you guys, because then you'd ask her and she'd be happy to. Yeah, I'm going to stop talking and shut up. So the conversation keeps going and going and going and going. Finally, Naruto has fallen asleep on the couch. Anna's tired. Liz is just wagging her tail staring at me because I haven't noticed, but the spirit from my blades, I ain't telling you her name yet, because Laz, if you're hearing this, which you probably aren't, I changed the name to a Quincy themed name. So yeah. So so we go the next day. You just hear a shrill scream from Hana's room. I'm at the dining room table eating breakfast because I'm the only one who wakes up at a reasonable hour of the day. It's 6:30 in the morning. Sum is starched naked on the ground in the living room, and I just threw a blanket over her, being like, she drank last night. Can't stop her. Hana took a fox to her room, and that's where the scream came from. Naruto comes running out, butt naked, and I'm like, you had fun last night, didn't you? And he goes, I am never, and I mean never, staying over here unsupervised again. I go, you were supervised. And he goes, what do you mean? Poof. And there's a camera in my hand. His eyes widen. And I go, I'll sell it to you for $50. And he goes, I ain't paying you for it. It's going to do nothing. I go, I'll also put a seal on you that whenever you get hit in the video, you also feel it. And it plays like a memory in your head. So you feel everything that's happened. And he goes, give it to me. I go, okay. Where's the $50? He gets out his wallet. And I just snatch his wallet, get out 50, throw his wallet back. And I walk right up to the back of his neck, slap a seal there, seal away the camera in it. And I go, whenever you want to watch it, put chakra to the right of the seal. He goes, okay. But it's paper. It's going to fall off. And he goes, no, it's not. Seal. And it attaches to his skin instead of to the paper. And I go, and it'll document every time you do it. I could also I'm going to give Hana the other side. He goes, what do you mean other side? And I go, oh yeah, It works both ways. You activate it at night, and she's asleep. She feels everything that she did to you, and you feel everything that she did to you, or that you had done to yourself, or whatever. You both feel your ends. She's also going to have the vivid dream of it. I'm just going to slap it on the back of her neck without her noticing. The Heimer triplets, no, I would never intentionally harm her. Now, only works when she's inside the village. I goes, what do you mean? I go, well, if you activate the seal while she's currently outside the village, or you're outside the village, it will not activate. Unless one of you are inside the village, which when one of you are inside the village, I keep going on and on and on of how the seal works. And he's just scratching his head by the end, being like, so, let me get this straight. If I'm in the village, it works for me. If she's in the village, it works for her. But if we're both in the village, it works for both of us. If one of us are outside the village and activate it, it works for the other one. And I go, yes. He goes, why didn't you just say that in the beginning? And I go, I like hearing my own voice, and, well, I wasted enough time. My mother's up, and you're not getting out of this house without clothes on now. He goes, why? Look behind you. And he just turns around, squeaks, and tries bolting. I sit back down in my chair and start drinking my hot tea and having my egg sandwich that I make every morning. Soom finally gets fully up and walks in, being like, yo, what happened? I go, I blackmailed my friend. Hana's going to thank me later. I gave the Heimer triplets their breakfast. I gave Liz her breakfast. I gave Kuramaru his breakfast. I gave, kind of put a dog bowl in. Well, technically it's a fox bowl inside Hana's room. It put human-rated dog food in her room. Yeah, we're about to hear some weird sounds from Hana's room. She goes, don't worry. I soundproofed her room. I go, good. So you want me to soundproof your room now? And she goes, nah, I never go in there anyway. I go, true. I did a soundproof most of the house, though. And she goes, what? Oh, yeah, the kennels. If it's an emergency, any of the dogs know how to turn off the soundproofing. Well, technically, it's an automatic response for when and they get agitated enough. Otherwise, the normal barking, no one hears unless they're actually near the kennels. And she goes, that's normal. I go, yeah, because I turned that on. You must be within 15 feet of the kennels to actually hear it. Unless they're agitated enough, which then every recipient that works that day on the kennels will get a notice by loud barking in their ears. And she goes, so you're the one who had that put on? And I'm like, yeah. It only works when they're inside the compound, though. I love seals. And she goes, okay, what else did you mess with that we need to know about? I go, Heimer triplets have 5 times Earth gravity on them. Liz, I think 12. Kuramaru is, I think, 13 now. Starts talking and goes, I'm up to 14. Oh, he's up to 14. Never mind. Your Joning vest, which you wear on a daily basis unless you're sleeping, has 20 times Earth gravity. So you're a lot stronger than you actually are, than you actually think you are. So you need to have a day without that normal vest on. Put on your reserve vest. And she goes, reserve vest? I'm like, yeah, the one that's currently locked in your closet. The original one you got. Yeah, That's supposed to be your training one, but I put your training stuff on your normal one, so yeah. Hana, yeah, I put a seal on her. Yeah, her chakra is actually 5 times what it should be, yeah, at this point in time. And Sum's like, and when did you get all these books? I'm like, I've been sneaking in and out of the library for years. And she goes, how many? 4. I love Fuinjutsu. She goes, what do you mean? I take off my coat, my shirt, and yes, underneath this is a vest and shirt like that. So I've taken off my vest. I'm unbuttoning my shirt, unbuttons it, takes it completely off, and she sees intricate patterns upon patterns of what looks like wolves, foxes, and all kinds of different canines fighting, having fun, playing around on my chest, my back, my arms. I'm like, I've sealed myself up so much, I would be surprised if someone could cut my skin. And she goes, what do you mean? I go, well, flicks out my blades, and I say, these are special blades. Cuts right through my skin. Not deep enough to actually bleed, but cuts through my skin. She can see it. I take out a normal kunai. And I poise it strike, and she goes, stop. You don't need to show me. I go, yes, I do. And I push it down as hard as possible on the exact same spot. And it shatters. Just completely shatters on my skin. And her eyes are bugging out of her head. I'm like, the only person who scares me is the only person who can get through my skin. And she goes, and you said about this Juggernaut style? And I go, yeah. Juggernaut style is based on the fact that nothing can stop me. Literally nothing can stop me. I think the only thing that can actually stop me is the Executioner's Blade, which is spiritually superior to all other blades, except for Samehada, who can sap chakra, which will eventually knock me out, which then they can use Samehada to shred me to bits, but it takes a while. Finally, Naruto comes back in. Yeah, Naruto comes back in. Naruto now has a collar. Yeah, he has a collar. And I stare at the collar and I just bust a gut laughing. Sum looks back to where I was looking and sees Naruto. Naruto comes out in his normal clothes, collar on his neck, and has a little dog tag on it. And it flips around again to the side that I was looking at, and Sum busts a gut laughing. And Naruto goes beat red of embarrassment. And I go, so how's the dog food? And he just starts glaring at me. I'm like, hey, it's rated for humans. It's a lot better than ramen. He goes, I loved it. It was flavored with ramen. I go, I know. Sum just looks at me and goes, what did you do? I go, well, Hana has always had this fantasy, and I'm not surprised that she's had it. She's basically always around females. She's always out of control of her life, and she's always wanted to be in control of something. Well, I gave her that collar. Didn't give her the tag, though. Gave her that collar. And he goes, is that why it changed color to my favorite color? I go, yep. Changes the color to the favorite color of the person who's wearing it. Oh, don't worry. I gave Hana her own to wear just with you. It's a master and servant collar. And he goes, is that why I can't disobey her? And I go, no. You can't disobey her because, well, women are freaking scary when they want to be. Oh yeah, I have a clone doing breakfast for you guys. except for you, Naruto. You had breakfast. And he just glares at me. And I go, what? I know you enjoyed the flavor of the kibble that I made you. And he goes, and why is it rated for humans? I go, it smells like crap to dogs, so they ain't gonna touch it. And Hana comes out with a giant smile on her face. I go, there's 2 steaks in there, one for Soom, one for Hana. 2 basically buckets of eggs. They're my special egg combo, so have at it. Hana's eyes widen and goes, you only make that on special occasions. I go, yeah. Today I get my ID, and with a little luck, I may be able to tell you her name. And they're all looking at me like, what? The hell are you talking about? I go, I'll talk to you guys later. I gotta go. Bye. And I get up. Liz gets up with me, because Liz came out of my room a while ago and started waiting for me to leave. I go, it's time for the morning run. And I go, the morning run? Don't you mean sprint? I go, nope, run. They're like, okay. So I run off. Liz follows after me. And I look at Liz and go, to the forest and death and back? And Liz obviously answers yes. And so we sprint off. And I specifically waited till 8 o'clock. Well, not 8 o'clock. 7 o'clock in the morning. 3 hours after the beautiful green beasts of Konoha stopped their exercises. Because then I do not have to deal with constant yelling of youth and other crap in the morning. So I race Liz, and Liz is gaining forward, and she sees me tap a specific part of my jacket, and she nips at me while we're running. I go, fine. I tap it again, and I slow down again because I sped up. And she just grins. I go, I tap her collar, and all of a sudden she slows down. I go, now we're on equal footing. She starts arguing to me, and I yell back, and we're still running, and we run past a purple-haired, fishnet-shirted, trench coat wearing, miniskirt wearing Jonin, who just stepped out of the dango shop with a giant stack of dango, and I bump into her. I bumped into her, and before the dango can hit the ground, a clone appears in my wake and catches it. Now, the dango isn't ruined. It isn't ruined. No. It isn't ruined. It's messed up, but not ruined. The clone, seeing who I knocked over, who I hit, immediately starts sweating bullets and says, I'm sorry for messing up your dango. I didn't ruin it, though. I caught it. Please don't hurt me. Because the clones, even though they're my replicas, they don't have the same abilities that I do, because they don't have the same blades that I do. They have copies of the blade which don't have the same durability and do not have the same effects. So let's go a minute later. We're still running full speed. It takes a lot longer than just a few seconds to get to the Forest of Death from the Inuzuka compound. The land compound's on the other side of Konoha to the training grounds. So we're close to there, and all of a sudden, memories hit me. Full force. In the family jewels. I immediately fall and crash on the ground, so fast, and I get back up. And instead of running full speed, I'm jogging with wincing with the memories, because shadow clones share all memories and feelings. And Liz sees that I've fallen. She thinks that I tripped, and then, because if I trip, I just get back up and start running again. I'm jogging now, and Liz notices this and stops and waits till I get up there and asks what happened. I said, Anko. Messed up dango. And she's like, oh, that's your own damn fault, and runs off. A damn snarky wolf. So I get back up to speed. Liz is quite a few meters ahead of me. I'm like, I really don't want to do this. And Liz hears from behind her, or a mashed up sentence. Show Queen beasts. And she hears this and immediately goes, Mother's coming out to play. And I just zoom by her. And Liz drops all weights and starts running with me. She sees that my hidden blades have changed from this to this. Like Wolverine kind of claws. The bones are covers for my fingers. And instead of just 3, oh, yeah, 3. No, 4. 4, 1 on each knuckle. There's 4 that come out of my fist. So, she dropped all weight, and she's barely keeping up with me. And we finally get to the training ground 5 minutes after I left home. Yeah, I ran fast. Liz is panting. I'm smirking because I ran full speed and I'm not even winded. Then Liz told me to revert. I revert, and now I'm panting because reverting cuts off my power by a 75%. Well, technically it cuts my power by 50. And then it's multiplied by a 2 whenever I go into Bankai, which you won't see Bankai for a while. So we get to the Forest of Death, and I say, full speed, the way back, no tricks, on the roofs this time so I don't accidentally knock somebody over. And they go, and she goes, yes. You see where I'm going with this? Hopefully you do. Midway through the run back, which we're going full speed, all limit, they're just on and so on. I see a purple-haired, cat-masked Ambu coming home from deployment with a new set of swords. And she just barely hears, aw, shit, before, boom, I impact with her, go tumbling. I get up, and I see, on the corner of my eye, one of the blades bent from the handle. I walk right up to the blade. I look at it. I look at Yugao, who's currently on the ground, mask off. I go, you got scammed with this one. She looks at it and says, shit. I go, yeah. A, sorry for slamming into you. B, you got scammed. And C, why the hell do you have a Muramasa blade? She goes, a what? I go, a blade that won't go back into its sheath until it's drawn blood. She goes, and which blade is that? And I go, the pink one. Over there. She goes, what pink one? I'm like, you don't see it's pink from blood? And she goes, there's a red one. Like, crap, I forgot. I'm partially colorblind. And she goes, okay. Why do you see it pink? I'm like, don't ask colorblindness. Colorblindness is weird. And she goes, okay. Well, it's crimson red, like blood. And I go, I'm really going to kick her ass later. And she goes, what do you mean? And I go, I can see crimson red blood. I can see blood perfectly fine. It's crimson red. It's deep red. But I can't see crimson red when it's not blood. And you guys goes, that's really strange. I'm like, yeah, and I'm going to kick the ass of the person who did it later. So, why do you have a Muramasa blade? And she goes, I got it in one of the trading. Let's take me to him. And she goes, okay. So she takes me to the person. And he's packing up shop. I immediately grab him and go, I got a question for you, sir. Very important question. And this is one partial bladesmith to hopefully another bladesmith. Why are you selling a Muramasa blade? He goes, first off, I'm only the in-between. I was gifted this blade by a bladesmith, and he said, give it away. And I saw a point to sell it and make some money. I go, it is highly illegal to A, transfer the ownership of the Muramasa blade and or sell it. So whoever gave you this blade is now a wanted fugitive by the courts of the daimyos. All of them. Even the tyrant Dodo, who's currently ruling Snow, knows not to mess with Muramasa blades. If you find one in the wild, oh well, you're now stuck with it until A, you die, or B, someone steals it from you. You cannot give it away. You must keep it with you and document it to your daimyos. And if a raider has it, oh well, the raider has to put in the papers. Because if anybody notices that raider has it, the entirety of the samurai army is coming for that raider if they don't have it documented. I'm sorry, but if one Muramasa blade is out of knowledge of the daimyos, all daimyos look for that blade. That's how stupidly dangerous they are. And I goes, well, I didn't know. I'm sorry, I just didn't know. I go, that's completely fine. But next time you're given a blade that's as red as blood, maybe do a little digging. Because apparently there's, what is it? Snow, water, lightning, fire, earth, wave, whirlpool, grass. No, Orochimaru has grass. Never mind. Yuga looks at me and goes, what? Oh yeah, the Kusanagi sword is a Muramasa blade. And she goes, and why does no one know this? I thought everybody knew that. That's why it doesn't have a sheath. She goes, no, it doesn't. No, not anybody knows that. And I go, oh yeah, the last one, iron. Just iron. I go, yeah. Mifune, he's the proud owner of the very first Muramasa blade. And he says he's taking it to the grave. And that one grave, he says, if the blades make it to his casket, by the end of his life, he's taking them all to the grave. So I've currently found a way to send him, without breaking any of the laws, send him water, whirlpool, snow, I think it was wave, lightning, and stone. Send him those. He also has iron. He just has a few more. So Mifune, the old ass samurai who's currently dying. You guys like, he's dying? I'm like, yeah, he's not long for this world. But Mifune has set up a seal that he wants on every single Muramasa blade. That when the owner dies, it gets transferred immediately to him. And now you are the proud owner of a Muramasa blade. Here's the seal. She grabs the seal and goes, okay. I don't know anything about sealing, so can you put it on? I go, sure. I take out the seal that's currently inside the storage seal. And it's this long roll of basically tape. I start taping it up so thoroughly that they can't see the tsuba of the sword anymore. And I go, seal. It locks down to where you can now see the tsuba, but it looks like it was made with the seal on it. And I take the original seal and slap it on the sheath. I go, now those will not open unless I allow them to. So, you're now the proud owner of a art piece, basically. She goes, at least I can show it off a little. He goes, oh yeah, that's also another law. You're not allowed to show it off unless it's behind like 10 inches of glass. And she goes, damn it. I think I know a way to get it to Mifune. And I go, yes, if you do medically dead, if you medically stop your heart, the seal will activate and send it to Mifune. And she goes, question, what blade is this? And I go, oh yeah, that's the fire one. She goes, looks like I gotta go die. I go, oh, don't worry. Walks right up to her, stops her heart. Sword just goes poof. I just walk right up to her and starts her heart again. Immediately, Dragon appears and goes, what the hell going on? I go, Muramasa blade, needed to take it to Mifune. Laws, rules, yeah. Confusing. Had to stop her heart for a second. I started it again once, the sword went poof. And he checks on Yugao. Yugao's heart is beating, and he goes, and she's not waking up? And I go, no. I first put her in forced sleep. Yeah, her brain was turned off for a little bit. I suggest you take her to Ambu Medics, just to make sure the Muramasa didn't do anything to her, because it was unsealed. And he goes, oh shit. Okay. Takes her off. Liz finally finds me and goes, what the hell were you doing? I go, Muramasa blade. Nico got scammed. Walks back up to the giant pile of swords that she is taking home. I pick up the pile of swords, and I walk into the Inuzuka compound, and I look directly at Hana, which she's currently taking a break from the vet, the clinic. I look directly at her and go, I know you have a spare key for Yugao's apartment. She had a Muramasa blade. I just sent it to Mifune, with legal loopholes, of course. And I need to take these to her apartment. And plus, that attachment to the compound coming along good. And she goes, I still don't know what the hell's in that attachment to the compound. Seems like I still don't know why you want that. I'm like, would you rather me go out and prank when I'm a shinobi? Or would you rather me do that instead? And she goes, do that instead. And I'm like, and there's your answer why I want that. Now, question A, do you have a key? I thought I knew you had a key. Question B, can you take me to her apartment? Because I don't know where it is. And question C, can you please do it quickly? Because I currently have I have 100 pounds worth of swords in my arms, and they're really uncomfortable to hold. Yes, 100 pounds worth of swords. Still don't know how Yu-Gi-Oh holds all that. She goes, question A, do I have ki? Question B, will do. And question C, I can do that in 5 seconds. And he goes, why 5? Chugs the last of her drink. And he goes, because I had to do that. Let's go. I wrap them in a bundle and put them on my back. Hilt standing up. And I start running with her. And all of a sudden I stop holding my head. I'm like, shut up. I'm not having other swords. You're the only blade I need. Shut up. Hana turns around and is like, what? I go, voice in my head. Jealous blade. Don't worry about it. She goes, okay then. We're right around the corner. Okay, good, because she's not shutting up. Let's go. So we get there. I read a note saying the Muramasas safely with Mifune. Have a great rest of the time. Your scam sword is going to be interchanged with a special sword that's specifically designed for you. I hope you know where I'm going with this. If you don't, oh well. You'll see later. So, we go. Later that day, I'm heading to the Hokage Tower with Naruto, and Naruto's trying to pull off the collar, and I go, dude, that collar ain't designed to come off. And he goes, God damn it. How's it going to clean itself then? I go, I put automatic cleaning seals and skin cleaning seals. So as long as that collar's on, your neck will always be clean. He goes, I hate how you look forward to problems. I go, I love causing problems. And this problem is a problem for you and not me. Because I'm going to tell her, I go, she already knows. Now, let's keep going. We get into the tower. We go to the top of the tower. Or he pulls up his jacket to hide the collar. I have Liz go around behind him. And right before the picture is taken, without the kabuki makeup and all that, I have her rip down his jacket just enough to show skin underneath the line. So it shows that it's a collar. And even better, the dog tag flip to the side that says property of Hana. And Sarutobi, after I take my picture, in my basically tuxedo, and like $100 million smile, which I'm like, oh god, that is such a fake smile. We both come in. I throw my picture at Sarutobi. Sarutobi catches it like shuriken, looks at it and goes, not a bad one. Narsha's like, I want to retake it. I go, nope. I paid him $200 to not retake your photo. And Sarutobi's like, why? I go, you see the thing around his neck? And he goes, yeah, the collar? I go, yeah. The other side of the dog tag, from the word that says Naruto, from the thing that says Naruto, says property of Hana. And Sarutobi's like, please don't tell me. I go, yep. Perfect timing. It says property of Hana on his picture. I'm going to make sure that's his bingo book picture. And he goes, and how are you going to do that? I already sent a letter to the bounty board. If a bounty of Naruto Uzumaki is ever posted, change it to this picture. And he goes, how did you do that? I had to direct seals to the bounty board, to the bounty offices. And he goes, and why did you set that up? I go, because it's going to be hilarious. And he goes, you know, that's also going to be one thing that can, I go, first off, Naruto, henjin to Naruto. Henjin to yourself. And he goes, why? But I say, do it. I was okay. Henges and the college just disappears. Go, first off, it henges into a tattoo that's right underneath his heart. Whenever he uses henge. So if his physical henge, which changes into the sand name. He changes into the sand name. Takes the hat right off his head. And bends it. And then finally breaks it. And it poofs. And the henge stays the same. Nothing wavers. I say, henge into me. He goes, okay. And he henges into me. And I pull down on the thing. I rip the shirt a little to show the tattoo. And I'm like, it henges into that. So if he gets knocked out and he's stuck as that for a while, and he needs to be identified, you can identify him by the collar tattoo underneath his heart. And he goes, okay. That's one benefit. I go, also, another thing. It only works, you can only see the henge tattoo if you're wearing a Konoha Shinobi headband. And he goes, and how does that work? Seals. Seals is how that works. And he goes, I'm not going to even try to ask anymore. I go, good. Because it took me 3 days of non-stop working on that seal to make it work like that. And he goes, what is the key? Shows the Konoha symbol on the forehead protector. And he goes, yeah, you should really get more security around the people who make the headbands. And he goes, why? Well, I showed that I was a clan heir and I wanted something added to all the Konoha forehead protectors. And I have a new policy in the curriculum that a Jonin sensei will put chakra into the headband to activate it, and then when it touches a new person, it sucks chakra up from that person and binds them to the headband. So instead of having to kick people out of Konoha, you could just label them missing nin, and it immediately, on your command, scratches out the forehead protector. Now, to unscratch it, you must, first off, appeal the label of the missing nin and give them a new forehead protector, only started by you. So, yeah, you're going to have a lot of work to do if you want to reinstate a missing nin. He goes, and you're giving me more paperwork. I go, I could give you the secret to paperwork. He goes, but I'm like, I can give you the secret to paperwork. If you want the secret to paperwork, don't grumble about paperwork. And he goes, okay. So we skip a few days. It's now Monday again. It's Monday. Naruto, Uzumaki, Sasuke, Uchiha, and Sakura Haruno. I'm on Team 8. Kurenai picks us up. I wave to Kurenai. I say, hey, Kurenai. Hana's found a boyfriend. When are you going to say Asuma's your boyfriend? She gets flustered. She smacks me upside the head, hurts her own hand. We get out to the training ground. She's like, introduce yourselves. I go, first off, we don't need to introduce ourselves to each other. You just need to introduce yourself to Shino. Because Shino, A, is part of the Aburame clan. He probably won't tell us anything until we become his actual teammates. Because him, Hinata, and myself all know that you are going to test us with Genjutsu. And I'm currently sniffing for your scent, but also having Liz sniff for your scent. Because I know this ain't you. Because I'm technically staring through you. Ever since we got to the thing, I've been faking looking at you. Looks over to the side. Liz found you. And everybody looks at me and goes, first off, Liz is a chakra beast from the Forest of Death. Mother attacked by a bear. I have the leather of the mother as my armbands. Yeah, I'm basically her father in all but blood. She knows what I'm thinking before I'm even thinking it sometimes. Scary. But I'm going to give you a 5-second head start to try to outrun me. Liz is slower than me. And I'm going to end it here. You're going to hear her name. Next episode, you're going to hear her name. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Remember, you guys steal my time, I waste yours. So, that's why you're the unsmooth criminal empire. We steal nothing but time. Do you like this episode? Like, subscribe, comment what I did right, what I did wrong, how I can make this better. What else? Oh, comment an idea for Yugao's sword. Because it's going to be a special sword. It's going to be a Sanpakto. I just don't know which spirit I'm going to give her. I'm planning on either Rengoku's or Soy Fang's. And she'd only unlock the Shikai of it, not Bankai. Because A, I don't know the Bankai of Soy Fang's, and Rengoku, I don't even think she went into Bankai ever. So, tell me which Sanpakto, or if you want me to make a custom one, tell me. I always can add to the story, make it more interesting. So you've gotten a little bit of background on who's in my blades, what my blades will look like. Last one. That is my Bankai. These two. That is also a sword I used to have for Halloween, but it looks cool. These two are swords I will have. Yes, I have a dual wielding Bankai. One does one thing and the other one does the other thing. And if you ever want to know what mine do, what is the nature of animals? What is our nature? What is our destiny? What is our fate? What is our cycle in life? And talk to you guys later. Bye!